Welcome back, and we're gonna make another more unique first-person shooter weapon. And as you can see, I'm basically using the same gun there, except I took the blade out on this one, so you can tell the difference when they switch. And you can switch between them with the 1 and 2 keys on the keyboard. And this one is I'm gonna call it the lightning rod because and if you kill somebody with it, bam, bam. You see that it follows the reticle. And yeah, like I said, you can switch. Okay, so how did we make this? Well, the lightning itself, the effect is again a free asset on the asset store, and this one's really good. And it's this one right here. As you can see, it's free. And by Digital Ruby, Jeff Johnson did a really good job. I really like the effect. There's so many tweaks you can do to it. And yeah, I brought that in. And what that is basically, you see, I got my player, I got my camera attached to my player, and then I got my two guns attached to the camera. And the lightning one, you can see that the gun itself right here, which is all the cubes. And then this is the effect prefab that came with the package I just showed you. And the effect prefab has two empty game objects here called Lightning Start and Lightning End, and that's the way they come. I didn't change the names or anything. And Lightning Start, effectively, for the weapon at least, you put that at the barrel of the weapon that you want to shoot from, the firing point. And then the end one, what I do is I place that at a ray trace. I do a ray trace from the camera out, sort of like just like I did with the saw blade firing. All right, except this time I place this object, which is the endpoint for this effect, wherever the ray trace hits. So if I hit an enemy, then it's going to go to the enemy, and the lightning will shoot right from the gun to the enemy that way. And if I don't aim at an enemy and I'm firing it, it'll just go out to the max distance, and it'll fire there and place this there. Wherever the ray trace goes is where it's going to put it. And I added a light to this. That way I could change its intensity and range randomly to make it look like the lightning is producing the light and it's flickering. Show you that again real quick. Alright, so off there. Now if you notice there's a sound, there's an initial pew sound. And then you got that looping electricity sound. And those I got from Pixabay, and the initial sound where it goes pew, that is basically the way I got it. The looping lightning is like three different electrical sounds I got from there that I kind of together. You can see at the very tip where it's firing off, there's kind of a particle effect going on. And once again, that's from the asset store. And that is right here, the hit impact effects Travis Game Assets, so you can look that up on there. Um, I mean, I could just show it to you real quick, but let's see. Hit impact, and then we'll do free. And which one was it? I think it was this one right here. Yeah, Travis Game Assets, hit impact for free. And that's that one. So those are the two effect packs. And actually, I used another hit impact for the saw blade. So let's switch over to that. So before he dissolves away, you can see when it hits is like an impact effect. So all I did there was created a prefab out of an effect I wanted from that pack, and I create it at the hit point when it hits. I have the saw blade create it. Let's kill you with lightning, I guess. Okay, so yeah, you can see that hit effect. And I tweaked it a little bit, but it's mostly the way it was. Um, for the kind of glowing, I just raised the bloom up because it's a URP project. So in the post-processing, I raised the bloom up quite high, I think to like 11 for that to glow the way it does. And that's fine because anything else, like their eyes that have emission, I can just turn the emission down way low to counteract the highness of the bloom that I want for the lightning. So, so that's that, and let's take a look at the code. Why don't we? So, code control. So I modified the gun controller script, which is on the player character, just like the simple first-person controller script. I modified it to have multiple weapons now. All right, and what it is this public int called weapon selected. It's just an integer. So I change it 0 equals saw blade, 1 equals the lightning rod, and you can change it like that. And in the update, it checks to see if input get key down 1 or 2. Then if it's key 1, the weapon selected equals 0. And if it's key 2, which is in 1 and 2 on the keyboard, then it changes weapon selected to 1. And the right here, the two guns I have declared up top. Okay, so right here, this public game object gun blade. See, this is a little confusing, so I'll explain it because I got gun blade here and then I got blade gun here. Gun blade is the blade that goes on the gun. Blade gun is the gun that holds the blade. So I hope that makes sense. And then we got a public game object for the lightning rod, which is the gun. Then we got a public game object for the end position, which is the object in the lightning effect where I move that end position to wherever the ray trace hits. Okay. So right here, the blade gun, that gun that holds the saw blades. All right, we say blade gun dot set active, and then as a like a prefix, we use weapon selected equals 0. And lightning rod set active equals weapon selected equals 1. All right. So that way, when you press the 1 or 2 keys on the keyboard, it'll change that int weapon selected to 0 or 1, and that'll set them active and deactive that way. And then we check to see if weapon selected equals 0, okay, which is the blade gun. And we do the same things that we did with the blade gun before. We have the timer and the cooldown for the reload stuff, and we fire it. But if it's 1, if weapon selected equals 1, then we do handle lightning beam. Okay, and that's right down here. So handle lightning beam. All right, so if input dot get button fire 1. So this is being run every frame. All right, because if that gun is selected, it's being run every frame in the update function. You can see if that weapon selected, run this function. So it's doing it every frame. So every frame it checks to see if the fire 1 key, the get button fire 1, all right, then the lightning effects, we set it active to true because it's deactive when you're not firing it. And then the light, which is, of course, up top there, you know, my public light, my light, which is the light I showed you flickering. The light, I say my light dot intensity equals random dot range, and I got 1 and 111. And then my light dot range equals random dot range 1 and 20. So that gives it a good lightning flickering effect. And then we do the raycast from the camera and the transform forward of it. And then we do vector 3 endpoint, and that's not the end point for the effect. That's for the ray trace. All right, and then if we hit something, we say end position. Now that's the game object I declared for the end position of the effect. We say the end position dot transform dot position equals the hit point of the raycast, like I explained earlier. And then if hit collider dot compare tag enemy, just like it does with the saw blade, we get the enemy's script right here, basic enemy hit collider get component in parent basic enemy. And then we say, you know, if enemy does not equal null, and right now it's not doing anything. All right. And then we say else lightning effect set active false. So if you're firing the gun, then see, this really doesn't need to be here, this hit. All right. Originally I was going to do it this way, but I changed it to the end position. I attached the code to the end position, and I gave the end position a box collider and a trigger. So that way, when you shoot it and it moves it to that position, if you're on an enemy, the ray trace hits an enemy and you put it there, then that box collider will become active, and then it will do the enemy hit function stuff. So really, this doesn't need to be there. Um, we need the raycast, of course, to put the end position where the ray goes, but this hit stuff really doesn't need to be here. So honestly, I'm just going to take it out. All right. So yeah, if you're firing, do that. And if not, lightning effect set active false. All right. And the end hit position right here. So when you fire it and it moves it to wherever the ray trace hit point is, all right, in the update function, it checks to see again if you're pressing the fire button. And if you are, then it sets the box collider to true. And if you're not pressing the fire button, it sets the box collider to false. All right, and this way it only sets off the event trigger when you're firing the gun. And then the void on trigger enter, check for collider other, and if other.gameObject.layer equals layer mask name to layer enemy, All right, because he's on. I put them on an enemy layer. So again, they have an enemy tag plus they're on an enemy layer. So again, we get the script for the enemy, and then we check to see if it's null, and then we tell the enemy script to run its hit function, which is just like the last time. So the hit function just starts this coroutine, which does the dissolve and kills them and all that. So that's the same as it was in the first one. So that's how we're doing it. And yeah, it's a pretty cool gun, man. So like I said, I just took that, effect, dragged it onto the camera and put the start point at the gun's barrel, and I moved the end point through code to wherever the ray trace hits, and it fires off the lightning. And like I said, if you can see here, the end position, I gave it that end position script I just showed you with the event trigger on it, and it's got a box collider, and it starts off not being active, the box collider, and it's a trigger. And when you fire, it sets this to be active and checks to see if you're on an enemy or not. And then the light. So yeah, that's the lightning rod. So now we got two cool weapons that are unique. Your basic everyday pistol and shotgun and stuff. And I have a good idea for another one too. So this is part two of the more unique weapons, and there'll definitely be a part three because I've got an idea for the third one too. So, like I said, as long as I come up with ideas for weapons, we'll keep this going. And yeah, the third one, I'm thinking I'm gonna call it the Scrapper. And what I want it to do is take like scrap metal you can find around the level, and if you have scrap metal available to you, the gun will scrap it into like shards of shrapnel that fire out in a wide burst. It's kind of like a shotgun, but it's like shrapnel, and I want the shrapnel to be able to stick in wherever it hits, and maybe some blood come out and kill the enemy that way. So the Scrapper should be the next one whenever I do that. But for now, it's super cool. And actually, I'll show you the settings on it too. Now I'm thinking about it. All right. So this one here. All right. So when you pull that prefab out of the package, uh, it'll have this script on it, the Lightning Bolt script. All right. And it's got a line renderer, and that's my setting there. It's very thin, but you can make it very wide if you wanted. And then down here, I keep all this to default. Generations, I brought up to 8. I think it was at 6 as default, so I brought it up to 8. The duration, I believe 0.03 was the default. I did change it a little bit, but I think I put it back to that. And then the chaos factor, I've got it at 0.084, and that's cool. If you could mess around with all this stuff, and it's pretty cool. Then I added two audio sources to it. All right, so the electric sound, we play and awake and loop it, and then the initial sound, excuse me, I just play and awake and don't loop it, and that's that. This one here, so. Yeah, so that's the initial firing of the gun, and then it loops the electricity sound while you're firing it. So I think that covers everything about this new weapon, and hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, leave a like, and if you're not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, and you'll get notified when the new parts of the series come out. And yeah, I'm just gonna say thank you right now to all the subscribers so far. You guys rock. You guys are great, and you're helping keeping me do this. So yeah, please subscribe and hit the like button right now. And until next time, peace out.